Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 16 millimeter film crew. I'm Cindy.
And I'm Dale.
This week we watched No Other Choice, directed by Park Chan-wook. Abruptly laid off after 25 years at the same company, a desperate man goes to extreme lengths to eliminate the competition for the job he wants. This movie stars Lee Byung-hyun and Song Yi-jin. So, Dale, what are your thoughts about this movie?
I love this movie. Like, I think Lee is like when you, as an American, and you kind of think Korean actors. For all of us, Lee is the first one we kind of think of. Based on his work with in the GI Joe movies, him being in Squid Game, and him also being in Terminator Genesis, and Magnificent Seven. So like, I think for a lot of Americans, when you think of a Korean actor, subconsciously he's the one that kind of enters your head for the most part these last couple of years. I thought the movie was amazing. Like we've already seen Reason to Leave, the work Park did that movie before, so I'm kind of familiar with his work. I love this movie a lot. It's very satirical, very much talented Mr. Ripley esque in a way, and kind of how he has his personification or facade of his character and the way he operates, and kind of how it just evolves. It's almost semi-chaos, and at the end the wife kind of has to buy into it because she's very much loves the life he's provided for her, even though she's aware that she's done something wrong, with the backdrop of dealing with the difficulties of their children. Like the whole package like was a really wonderfully done movie.
Yeah, who did he play in Squid Game again?
I know he was one of the main. He was in the main cast of season one and season two. I forgot who he played in season one. I think he was the like Han In Ho.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't know their names. So
Player 132, I think, if I remember correctly.
it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, because I'm trying to think, is he the guy who was like the adversarial? Like, do you think he's adversarial, but like they were like childhood friends?
Yeah, he was the main antagonist.
Yeah, okay. Now I remember. Got it. Anyways, that's not important. Yes, I love this movie. I thought it was so good. It was really, I like the dark humor of it all. Like, I like that, like, what's happening is extremely serious, but like the way that they did the tone of it was very humorous at times, where it's like the little burst of like random humor where you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. But also I think it's kind of funny. Like, and also like I was talking about this maybe 2 weeks ago, where I'm like, this is like the anti-hero done right, where it's like you have this character who is murdering people, like people are dying, he's killing them, but you still, or not but and you still like understand like where he's coming from. Like, I don't know, he like cared about his family, like he's trying to keep things together, like he is doing something, he's doing all this because he does love his job, and like he cared about the people who worked there, but it's still murder, so it's still bad. And it's interesting because at first like you kind of think he's not going to do it, because he like fumbles the opportunity to do it initially when he's trying to like kill off one of his competitors. And he kind of fumbles that. And so you're like, oh, okay, I guess like maybe he's just not going to do it. And then he does it. But again, it's not seamless. It's like a very messy job. So it's really, it's interesting, the way that all that goes down. But also to me, like this movie was extremely relevant, and like the way that it talks about like capitalism and how like American industries are going into other countries, kind of taking over their businesses and boards and stuff like that, and then making all of these cuts. And a lot of people, they're losing their livelihood and feel like they don't have options, and like the job market is not like good enough for them to find something else. And like I think most of us can relate to that, where it's just like, you don't want to leave your job,
Yeah, but
but where else are you gonna go? Like
you're stuck.
it's like that's why I really like the story, because it's very relatable in terms of like most of us can kind of see ourselves in that position. However, most of us aren't going to do what he does, but you can understand the steps that lead him to those decisions. And I just thought that was really interesting, and also interesting on like how when there is difficulty in your family life, how that rolls over to your kids and how they start picking up on stuff, and then they make certain decisions based on like what is going on in the home. And I thought that was a really interesting layer to all of it too, where it's like his son starts acting out and doing certain things because it feels like, you know, the family doesn't have any money, they're losing the kind of privileges and luxury that they're used to, and so his son makes a decision to step out on his own and try to find some money. And I just felt like that was like really interesting, because like, I don't know, sometimes parents don't think what they're doing or what they're going through impacts their children, but obviously it does. So this movie was very layered, and
Yeah.
I really like the subtlety of the layers, where it's like you really have to think about it before. It's not like heavy handed in any way.
Yeah, it's also the part where they kind of broke it down as to why, he would decide, oh, I'm gonna like rob my friend's dad's store. Like the logic he gives is it's because my mom needs money. It's not like his parents need money or his family needs money. It's my mom needs money. And that goes to Pack, what you mentioned before. Oh, when you were young, you got with me and I was a single mother. Like that's her son. That's their bond. Like if like, just like how he's going to do a bad thing to provide for his family, he's going to do a bad thing to provide for his mother, which the father and son, even though it's clearly don't have a good relationship, which is alluded to due to, his past with drinking and not respecting him, as her son in a way, and then deciding to quit and then them having a daughter. But it's clear that they marry each other very well. They're more alike than they're different as father and son, even though it's not his biological father. It's one of those nature versus nurture things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like in her choice to like knowing her husband is doing these bad things and kind of discovering it on her own as the police are interviewing him, and her son says thinks he saw a body, and then she realized, oh, your father has a your grandfather had a North Korean gun and stuff like that. She kind of puzzles pieces together, but she's still unwilling to leave and step out on her own, you know. So
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like she was more of like, I know you're doing, like, I don't know what you're doing or you're lying to me, and then piecing it together, as you said, but also like once she does put all the pieces together, it's like, I don't know, do I offer you up to the police and then you are in prison forever? Or do I guess just pretend like I don't know, pretend like I don't know what's going on so we can stay a family, you know? I
yeah,
think that was an interesting decision, because, like, I know most people wouldn't want to believe that someone who they are close to would just be murdering people.
yeah.
Like, nobody wants to believe that. So sometimes it's easier to not ask questions. So that way you don't know the whole situation and you can, be like, oh, no, I didn't know everything that was going on. So, you
But
know.
it also keys into the cultural thing, even though some of these, like, I think what they're saying now, a lot of with the globalization, that's a hard word for Elmo.
Mm.
Globalization is a lot of like other countries, and I've seen this personally, like when I go with my friend back to Jamaica, like how a lot of countries have become more Americanized. Like if you
Yes.
compare other countries, America is really isolationist as far as not beyond just politics, but you care more about the individual than the whole. Whereas a lot of other countries, you care about the community in the whole. Like I kind of notice it a lot now when I go to Jamaica. I was like, there's a younger generation is asking more American because of our media and stuff is populated the global zeitgeist so easily. Um, and that kind of goes into his actions as well. I'm thinking of myself. And also it's permeates into the culture itself of like most Asian countries, their honor is important. You know, if I don't want to be dishonored, I don't want to sully my family. So her head is probably thinking, oh, if I say my husband, killed multiple people, that affects not just my kids' honor, that affects my honor, that affects my grandchildren's honor, so on and so forth. Because if you remember, one of the guy he knew who was going to buy the house, like, oh, this used to be pig farmland. I don't want this. Not even realizing this man is selling a house. You don't have a house. You're talking about, having a apartment in the area. You don't have your own property, and it's still kind of like the idea, like, oh, I have a store, but I don't have a house. But the fact that you're from a lowly pig farmer, that honor thing is still there, and it plays out into the fact that he's struggling to like find a job, and the family was like, we're gonna live life like normal. Like, I think here when family members or parents lose jobs, everybody instantly goes survival mode. They were just like balling, like I'm still playing tennis, I'm doing XYZ. It's not until she gets like the foreclosure notice of them missing their mortgage repeatedly, like, oh, we's broke, and then that kind of starts the ball rolling for there. But it's like, I think it's also a cultural thing of it as well. His honor as a man not providing for a family, which doesn't really happen here. If a dude can't provide for his family, he kind of shrugs in
Yeah.
America.
Yep.
Whereas there in like Asian countries, it's really mentally taxing, as you see him going to therapy and stuff like that, trying to deal with it and stuff like that. So I think that's what I like about this movie. It also, even though it's from a book from an American author that was written in 1997, and it's kind of like a remake of I think it was French movie, it still had those cultural imprints in it. Where that's something when American movies take these Korean films. It's funny how we're talking about um uh Park Chan-wook, which they did a remake of Old Boy in America and it didn't do as well. Like, that's one of those things. I think when they decided to remake this movie for Korean or South Korean audiences, they put those cultural influences in, and that's something Americans don't really do when they remake foreign films. They take what made the movie good out of they try to replicate what made make the movie good, but they don't add also those cultural touch tones in it. They kind of more so, let's heighten the action for it and ignore the substance of what drew the audience to the movie.
Yeah. And I feel like that is I think that the idea of like capitalism, how like it's so intertwined with like manhood. Like it is your job to like make sure you're providing for a family. And even in his therapy sessions, like it's really just about like the lack of career more than it is like
How are you feeling?
you're not your identity isn't dependent on what you're doing. Like you have a lot more to offer. Like it's never that it's never that in a therapy. It's always just like you will get another job. And even his push, the fact that like he refuses to get any other job, like it has to be at a paper company.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's also like bound up in like what he feels like his identity is, and like I don't know. It's very interesting for that to be dissected, and then for the ending to turn out the way it does. Because I think when I don't know, maybe that's more of an American thing when you're like watching something happen or someone do bad things, you're expecting them to learn some type of lesson and for like there to be consequences. And that does not happen in this movie at all. Like he gets away with everything and then he goes right back to get the paper company. Except nobody else is there. And like it's just AI and like machines just running the whole thing. Like there's not a single other person there. And he is like having the time of his life. He's so happy. Like he's just so excited to be back. Like he doesn't even care that everything's been automated. It's just like, whatever. I'm got this job back. I'm so happy. Like my family has their dogs. Like everything is great.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. But I think that that's also that thing of like, your career is who you are, is like the reason why I don't think he learns any deeper lesson. Like, because to me, the society that he is in isn't telling him anything to the contrary. It's like, this is the truth. And I think that in Korea, like they really know how to talk about class in a way that I don't know we have figured out really here. Like we make our attempts, but I feel like over there, like this movie Parasite, like all of these movies where they're like able to really discuss it in a way that's like funny and like not heavy-handed at all, but like it's very to the point when you really look at the whole picture. It's like, wow, this is so good.
Yeah. It's and and honestly, I didn't expect him to change by the end of the movie. It was clear, like it was clear he was not going to change. It like, well, he does change. In the beginning, he's more about, oh, you want to fire my whole team? You want to fire? What do you say? You want me to lay off like 60% of the people working here? I can't do that. They're my family. Who will I work with and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, you don't have any workers? It's just automated. Oh, I fucks with it. You know, at the end he became very American. He was like the individual supersedes the group, you know, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, first he wanted to like talk to the like these American business owners who had came into this space, like, and like, look, you can't fire people here in South Korea where this is how we do things here, you know, like they really don't even have unions. He's like that kind of thing. It's like, oh, you axe and you take off a man that's deaf. You know, he can't provide for, like, he's got this diatribe ready to go. He's ready to go to bat for his men. And then through the process of killing people, he loses his humanity and is able to go, oh, there's no people. You just want me to press a button and the fact that it starts up itself and I get paid the same. I'm with it, you know.
Yeah, and that's exact to me. That's like the perfect example of like what these type of systems do to people. Like it brings you down to that kind of level where it's like you don't care about others. When and no one else does. Like no one, like he tries to talk to the American businessmen, they completely ignore him and shut him down. He like goes to the other business, like other paper companies. They don't want to see him. Like there's other competition. And like, I remember he was like begging one of the guys for an interview. Like it was so sad, honestly, to just watch that. Cause it's like, oh my God, like this is terrible. And like his daughter can't, I think she has like some type of disability where she can't speak.
Neurodivergent.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Or she can't speak, but she's not, she's just repeating like what they're saying. And so he's like having a tough time. Like, and I don't even like, yes, I get that. Like, I totally get like he's in a bad place, obviously. But it does break you down where to the point where it's like, okay, if I have to kill other people just because I know I'm not going to get this job, then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And if they're saying no one else is working with you, it's just you by yourself. And he's like, and first he's like, well, like he doesn't want to, like, he was not sure. And then after a while, he's like, yeah, actually, yeah, I'm fine with it. It's okay.
He slowly becomes more proficient at murdering people. Like the first time he's like really hesitant on shooting the gun. The second time he's like, I don't want to shoot this guy. And the moment the guy takes off, he's like, blam. And then now he's like, oh, I can make this person like they like had, they drunk too much alcohol and they OD'd and stuff like that, and alcohol poisoning. Like he gets really proficient at murdering these people, you know.
Yeah, and it's just like such a good, I guess, is it an allegory? I don't know what the not a metaphor. I don't know what the word is, but
the loss of humanity kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, it's a good thing for that, and just like what capitalism is just doing to all of us, and like how it is slowly breaking us down to the point where it's like if you have to murder someone else in order to get work, then that is what you'll do. Yeah. So it's
it's really not on the nose. It's really direct into your face with the issues, and I'm glad they also showcase on with the Asian backdrop with this movie, and because I heard a story of when you like go to like Japan or South Korea or China and you have a job, you know, because once again that honor thing is they won't like fire you. Like they won't fire you, they'll like give you less and less work because your honor of not working. And to my American sensibilities, if you don't fire me, you give me less work and I'm getting paid the same. I ain't quitting either. You know, that kind of thing. It doesn't work with that kind of mentality doesn't work with us. And it goes to the opposite where people want to quit jobs, they kind of can't because that honor thing of you having a job. So they have agencies where kind of like kidnap people so they can move, so they can get a new job and like a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, like it's and I think I read an article where it's slowly changing, like where people are recognizing like our generation are aiming more for more of a work-life balance, and like of course the boomer generation globally is not fucking with that concept at all. So yeah, even to the point I was reading an article as well, like in some of these countries where you remember where they had like where were those like co-working spaces here and here some
Oh
places
yeah, like
like
we
I think
work.
yeah like root work or whatever they were
Mm.
like people are like renting office spaces to pretend to have jobs to impress their families. Like
Mm.
it's that bad. So I'm enjoying like the fact they show this under like the intense cultural lens that is the work environment is faced in Korea, which is completely opposite of what we have here. It was also interesting watching it from the stuff I know from that lens because I can't imagine like for us if we lose like Americans or whatever or our generation we lose a job like you go all right cool I can pivot to something else like even me right now I'm in school for nursing like I spent 10 years editing videos and stuff, and I'm like, screw it, I'll pivot to something else. Like, but like you said, his identity was tied into what he was doing for the past 25 years. And not just that, when you get to the age of like our parents' age, the idea of transitioning to another career field is
Mm.
kind of really hard. So I can kind of understand how he like crumbled in those moments.
Yeah, it's like very understandable how he crumbled. Like it's very like that's what I'm saying. This movie was like very timely because it's just like I think most people know what that feeling is, and even like people who are like stable, like who have like good jobs and whatever, because the economy and like everything else is going so haywire and chaotic and it's up and down and nobody knows what's going on. These freaking tariffs, like you don't even feel secure,
Yeah,
even if you are in a secure place, because like and then with the rise of AI and all the how it's like not regulated at all, like and how everyone's afraid that it's going to freaking steal their jobs, like no one feels comfortable. And I think that that is like also what's playing in to like this movie and why it's so good. It's because it's like no matter where you are financially, I think everyone is still having that feeling of not feeling safe with like what they have just because like of everything that's going on right now. So it's like it makes a lot of sense. And I think the tie into like at the end when it is just automated and it's just him, like that is a lot of people's fears realized.
yeah,
So it's like, you know, not great.
not great, not
Not
great.
great because it's also like, well, this could happen. This is it feels like this is on its way to already happening.
This
So
is
it's just
happening. Yeah,
it's happening, so it's hard. It's really difficult. And so I think that's why the movie also hits like deeply in a way that to be honest, like I didn't really like this decision to leave just because I didn't really it was just a little too confusing for me. And I feel like was a much more cohesive like story where you completely understand from beginning to end what is happening.
yeah,
And I enjoyed it a lot more because of that. Because I'm like, the last movie, I was like, it looks beautiful, but I don't know what's going on.
yeah.
So like this was a much better viewing experience for me. But like, yeah, it feels like not even dystopian. It literally feels like this can happen to anyone. Like anyone can get to the point that he gets to.
Mhm.
I hope they don't, but like I can see why. I mean, even when you think about like Luigi Mangione and like the United Healthcare guy, like that is what happens. That's
Yeah,
what happens when like people are driven to the edge. Like that's like it's not. It really does. It's not far fetched at all. Like this movie is pretty much accurate
yeah,
in terms of like real life.
yeah. It's really spot on, and that's why I'd say I can say I I fucks with it, because
Yeah.
it's really timely, and it's like you could see like, and I did. That's why also I didn't expect him to change as a person. It was like I could see what would drive somebody to do that, you know, and that's why also I didn't expect him to change for the better. Unlike the issues where, like a lot of the issues where we had the couple days ago, Marty Supreme, where he's just constantly fucking up, fucking up, fucking up, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like, "Yeah, you go, Marty." You could still see he's doing these actions and the toll it takes on him personally, and the toll it takes on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So you do see some kind of inner turmoil, inner struggle
Oh
as
yeah.
a person. So I was okay with him like diving 100% and not changing. Whereas with Marty, he was like, I'm gonna just keep fucking up and everything's gonna work out for me, so.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch these two movies because it's just like that movie was not good in terms of like how they depicted this character. And I feel in this movie, like you see the unraveling very quickly. Like he's afraid his wife is having an affair because the guy he killed
Same
wife
thing,
like
yeah.
tried to like the man, there was no chapstick to be found by the end of that movie. Like the crust, like he was struggling by the end of that movie. He looked disheveled and struggling. Like
the wear and tear.
Someone give him some chapstick. Like crazy.
It's not even
like
that. He related to the people he was killing. He was like, you lost your job and your relationship is now having trouble with you and your wife. I've been searching for a job. My wife is back to work. She's with a younger doctor who I'm concerned might she have an affair with. Your wife's having an affair with a younger actor that she's acting with. I can relate to that. Goes to the shoe store to kill the other guy. Oh, you have a daughter too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a son, but I'm close with my daughter, and she doesn't talk to us. Like stuff like that. He's in the midst of carrying out these actions, he's empathizing with these people. He even empathized with the last guy he kills. Like, oh, me and you are just like we are boys now. You know what you should decide to do? Tell your people to hire me because we vibe. Let's vibe. We work so well together. Let's just work together. And he was like, dude, if I do that, I'm gonna get fired. He's like, fuck you, right? I gotta kill you now. Like he empathizes with every single person he interacts with here. That's why I like the talented Mr. Ripley of it. Like he still becomes enamored, and he not just enamored, but ingratiates himself to these people before he kills them as well.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to kill you. Sorry, dude. Sucks. But it's like, well, I don't know. I guess the police just aren't good at their job, like, to be honest, because they could have found out what was going on in the backyard. Like, they're just bad cops. So that's how that played out. But yeah, I think that this movie is like so good. I was so surprised that it wasn't getting nominated for stuff because I was like, this movie was great. Like the way it was shot, the performances, score, like the story, I thought it was so good. So I was kind of shocked that it didn't get nominated for stuff, but like it should because it's like such a good movie, like so good. So that's awkward, but I do hope people go see it. I think hopefully it'll land somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. I remember when you say that the 2020 Golden Globes come to mind with Bong Joon-ho, as far as Parasite. During his acceptance speech, he said, once you overcome the 1-inch tall barrier of subtitles, you'll be introduced to so many more amazing films.
Yes.
And that's literally just the American, not even the whole, just the English-speaking audience, but it just tells me the American-speaking audience has a trouble with subtitles. Mm-hmm. Like, vehemently. Like, even when I'm watching anime with my friends, the argument goes of subtitles or dubbed, and I'm just like, why don't you just do both? Like, if they want to not hear Japanese, I don't have to hear Japanese, and if we want to read subtitles, we can. Like, just do both. And that creates a schism. Like, the idea of reading 3 words, just glancing or using your peripherals, just freaks Americans out.
Well, I would say that, but then also like Squid Game was so huge, and that's all subtitles. True. So I feel like it's starting to become a little bit more easier. But again, these films, a lot of these films from internationally, they're not really getting a whole bunch of screenings. You're not like seeing it everywhere. Sometimes they're not playing in your theater. So it's like, it's kind of hard to get access to these movies unless they end up on streaming. Like that's kind of the only way people are having like real access to all of the stuff, the great stuff that's coming overseas or coming to us from overseas. And I just feel like, I don't know, because maybe these directors, like they're not maybe familiar or really like interested in doing the whole marketing pushes that we do here. But I feel like maybe they should, because I don't know, I feel like more people should be seeing these movies. Because I'm so tired of people saying there's no good movies and like the movie industry is dead and like, there was nothing good to watch last year. And it's like, whoa, no. It just probably wasn't available in your city. Like that's probably why you're not seeing good stuff. So I just want more of it to be available to everyone so they can see it outside of streaming.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe there'll be a push for that soon. I don't know. So that is it from us this week. We hope that you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves. Make sure to check out all of our social media, support us if you can, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Au revoir.